Busy people getting fit in Fulshear, Texas. Our aim is to help you look better, feel better, and perform better as quickly as possible. I'm your host, Bryan White with Blue Eagle Fitness and Nutrition. Welcome. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are here with another episode of Busy People Getting Fit, and we have the Miss Clancy Harbors.
What's up? And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd does go wild. I heard your son in the background. He's not going wild for you?
He went to baseball.
Oh, okay. So he would be going wild for you, but he's just not there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the week after Thanksgiving. And Nancy, you had something you wanted to talk about.
Well, so here's the thing. Okay. And I think a lot of people have this question on their mind. It's like, I just came off Thanksgiving. I might have overdone it a little bit here and there. But just because I'm trying to get fit and, I'm a busy person trying to get fit, right? Does that mean that, now that Thanksgiving's over and the binge is over, that I can never have any sweets or treats ever again? Am I banished, from the kingdom? You and I kind of talked about something yesterday, and I thought you brought up an interesting point, and you had I liked your perspective on what you said. If you recall us talking about homemade versus store-bought.
Yep.
And so I thought it would be cool for you to share that, because I think a lot of us are kind of like that all or nothing binge purge mentality. I know I am.
Cool. Yeah. So just to provide a little bit of context in this, I tried to go, I didn't try. Well, the original goal was to go a year and eating nothing that had added sugar in it. Okay. So eat basically any dessert. I took that as far as we would go out to eat at a restaurant, and they give you a little peppermint or a little chocolate when you're done on your way out the door. Like, I would not eat those. That I was that strict. The one exception that I had was I was always going to have a treat or dessert in part of a celebration. So my kids were younger and we were going to birthday parties. You don't know how often you're going to birthday parties until you're tracking your ice cream or your cake consumption. And it was really coming out to about twice a month that we were on average going to a birthday party surrounded by basically a bunch of junk food. Big bowls of Doritos, big bowls of Cheetos, that you're out everybody's having a pool party or whatever. And I stayed away from all of that. But my point of this story is that even when I was extremely intentional about limiting my sugar intake, I was still having one scoop of ice cream or one piece of cake, twice a month. And that was as close to zero as I could get. Right. So when we're entering this holiday season now, we're coming out of Thanksgiving, and you just said, you make it sound like we just had this week of binging and now we're not going to do it again. That's not true, right? Parties have now started.
Yeah.
More events are going to be happening now through the new year. We've got 6 weeks. In fact, and I learned this in my own weight loss journey or my own fitness journey. I tracked my weight every day using a Fitbit Aria scale. The scale is terrible for determining your body fat, by the way, but it will measure your weight and it will upload it to the cloud, and you can download it and you can trend and see the trends over time. Basically, starting in November, it goes up, 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 up. That is what happens to my weight, and is what happens to most people's weights. Up, 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 up until about mid-January, and then it comes down a little bit as we get closer. Some of this depends on where you live, but in the Houston area, starting in around March, that's when you see a sharper drop down, and it goes down, and then it kind of plateaus until school starts. It starts to go back up again, and then November hits, and we get back up. And that is actually
So,
true for most people. Most people, when we talk about nutrition coaching, and we say, hey, what does your nutrition look like? And everyone says it looks pretty good. And they tell us about, all the salads they eat and all the lean meat they eat, but yet they've been gaining weight through the years. Uh,
yeah.
One of the ways that calories sneak in are during the Thanksgiving to New Year 6 week. I mean, it's basically 6 weeks of parties and opportunities to overeat.
Well, I think it's refreshing. And I sat next to you at Bruce and Elise's shower that we recently attended.
I thought you were
And
sitting by me to hang out, not to judge me and what
I
I
was
was
judging
eating.
you. I was not sitting next to you to hang out. I was sitting next to you so that I could make note of what was on your plate. And I was taking notes. Oh,
Okay.
whoa,
I don't
whoa.
remember. So what
And
stuck out to you?
I was pleasantly surprised. I was refreshingly refreshed and
Okay.
surprised. And I didn't feel like such a loser because I was like, oh, Bryan can eat a piece of cake, you know? And Bryan's a fit guy and he's not over here starving himself eating carrot sticks, and we had a lot of veggies there on
We
purpose.
did have a lot of veggies.
We had a good spread though, didn't we?
We did have
We
a very
had
nice spread.
fruit and vegetables. We also had the cake. And I think it's good for people to get out of this binge purge. Like, I can't, if I want to be fit, I can never have, it's this extreme language that we use and these
Yep.
extreme highs and extreme lows. And it's refreshing to know that, I can have a piece of cake and oh my gosh, I didn't just blow my whole life is not blown. And I know I tend to think kind of very extreme when it comes to food and nutrition and fitness, because for me I'm like, oh, I'm doing terrible, or oh, I'm doing great. And rarely am I like, oh, okay, I'm just neutrally cruising along. At least that's how I feel. So, but you mentioned yesterday that if someone offered you, let's say I came to your house and you guys invited me over and I brought a store-bought pie
Okay.
or store-bought cookies,
Yep.
um, your take on that versus like if I would have homemade.
Correct. I'm not eating the store-bought pie. I'm not eating the store-bought cookies. No offense to
Not
you.
either. I'm
Um,
not either.
and I will do that and I hope to do in the most delicate way possible. But I'm not going to eat. Um, I'm going to eat high quality foods. I'm going to or in high quality beverages. If we would like to, and I do that for a couple of reasons. The first is you could, in a matter of minutes, from this moment, you could, in a matter of minutes, consume an entire pecan pie.
Oh,
Right? You could
yeah.
go to the store right now, get to the store in a matter of minutes with a fork and eat
Mm-hmm.
the entire pie if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that'd
That's the
be
world we're
pretty
living
gross.
in. And the other thing that in our world, Toro's here trying to say hi. Hi, guy.
Hi,
Um,
Toro.
is that if you look in your pantry, how many things are in your pantry that are readily available for you to consume that are very high in calories,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is different than making the pie yourself. If you had to make, what's your favorite pie?
Pecan pie.
Pecan
Oh
pie.
my
Okay, I got the
gosh.
pie right. You just,
Yeah.
um, how long would it take you to make the pecan pie?
I mean, from start to finish, probably like maybe like an hour.
Okay, and do you have those ingredients in your house right now?
Well, right now I do because I just made one, but typically
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
have them all year round.
Okay. But let's talk about right now. And what would you do? How much energy would you expend going to your car, sitting in your car, driving to the grocery store, walking to the pie place, grabbing a pie and coming back to your car? How much energy does that consume? Not a lot. You're doing most of that sitting, right?
Yeah.
You're making the pie in the kitchen. How much energy does that consume?
Yeah. I mean, I'm walking around and
Yeah,
mixing and
yeah,
moving.
exactly, exactly. Um, and that pie that you just bought from the store, they are actually going to purposefully add ingredients, fat
Hmm.
and sugar, um, that you don't actually necessarily need, right? You don't need that much butter. You don't need that much
Yeah.
sugar to still enjoy the wonderfully tasting pie. I'm not saying, eat a butterless or a sugarless pie. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
Yeah.
you would be amazed at when you make it. And I only know this, I am not a baker. But my
But
now
your daughter is.
14-year-old daughter has been baking literally for 8 years. She has been baking
Yeah.
since she was 6. And she does not know what it's like. My mom came and visited. My mom only cooks from a box. And my daughter was like, I don't
Oh.
know what to do with this. I need the flour, I need the butter, I need the sugar.
I
I mean,
love it.
that's how my daughter bakes. I have no idea how she got into that, but she did, thanks to YouTube. Um,
Yeah.
so that's what I eat. When I eat a baked good, I don't just eat random potato chips. I eat Lay's barbecue potato chips. That
And
is that is what I eat.
and what kind of ice cream do you eat?
Okay, I eat Bluebell homemade
Yeah.
vanilla ice cream. I do also like the Bluebell homemade vanilla with added strawberries or with added mango or with added peach. I do like those. I also refer to those as nectar from heaven. God gave us Bluebell homemade vanilla,
Yes.
and I want to consume that. I want to enjoy God's gift to my life. But I'm not going
Yeah.
to go to McDonald's and get the swirl, or
Yeah.
I'm not eating the ice cream from Sonic or wherever. If I'm eating
Yeah.
ice cream, it is Bluebell homemade vanilla. That is why, because
So
it limits other opportunities to eat ice cream, but also it is the best kind. Like, I'm not
it
denying
is the
myself
best.
joy here.
Here's one for you. I'm not gonna drink some crappy cheap champagne.
I was
Okay.
gonna I was gonna
I
ask.
will not.
Okay, so
So I
here's.
have to tell you
Oh, no,
this.
no, no! I get to ask my question first.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
don't
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to miss my question.
Go ahead.
I know you enjoy a bottle of wine in the evening. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
drink the whole bottle every evening, but you enjoy your wine in the evening. What roughly how much does that bottle cost?
It depends. But I've started to buy the wine on the higher shelves. Honestly, I used to buy the $7 Mark West, and I would just buy, and now I'm just getting like to where I want better quality of everything. When I didn't send my husband, I asked him to go to the store and buy
Does
champagne.
he listen to this podcast?
No, he doesn't. Um, I said, can you please stop by the store and get some champagne? And because I wasn't sure, if we'd have enough, etc. And so he was like, no problem. I'm driving by Total Wine or whatever that place is called. So he goes in there and I tell him the two kinds. I said, there's two kinds that I like. And that's it. I don't want the barefoot. I don't want the cheap bottle of champagne. I'm just done with that. But the funniest thing is he couldn't he couldn't find it. He couldn't pronounce it. And so he's walking around the store and he's got me on FaceTime and he's like, Clancy, tell him what you said. And he's like making me repeat it. And finally, the third person was like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. And so we found it. But just as an example, like I just want good stuff. And so when we popped the champagne open later that day, he was like, this is really good. because he was
Yeah.
at first he was like, okay, this is expensive, and I was like, yeah, that's really good. And then later on he was like, this is really good. And so
What?
I kind of equate it to Weight Watchers. Like, real quick, I did Weight Watchers years ago, and it was the point system. And so they, like, I could eat 20 points a day or whatever. Well, a slice of pizza is 10 points. Well, that shoots that out the window. I'm not going to eat half my points in a slice of pizza. That's ridiculous. So that's kind of how I look at this. What we're talking about is like, I'm not going to waste my calories on, a store bought pie or cookies.
Yeah.
I'm going to waste it on the ones Rainey made that were like as big as my face. She gave them to Steven. I was like, oh my gosh, those look delicious. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things that uh, will help people and will help us keep our fitness or maintain our weight or lose weight is raising the quality of the food and beverages that we consume. Going
Absolutely.
for the 20, only buying bottles of wine that are more than $20. And I can't afford that. Okay. So,
Don't drink it
okay,
then.
you could just not drink it, right? And now we've saved calories right there. Or, are you more likely? We want you to savor food, like, and it's supposed to be a celebration, but a
Mm-hmm.
celebration that happens every day is not a separate. It's not a celebration. That is called, right. I had a woman coaching her with nutrition, couldn't she was logging everything she was logging looked great, she wasn't seeing results, and really struggled to figure out what was going on. And after every workout, which she was coming 6 days a week, after every workout she would go home in the evening, and after dinner she would celebrate going getting her workout in with a bowl of ice cream, and she wasn't logging it because it didn't count, right? It didn't count. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Look, you can celebrate
Yeah.
coming to workouts, celebrate coming to 20 workouts in a month, have a scoop of ice cream, homemade Bluebell homemade vanilla would be my option. Have a scoop of that. You don't need a whole
Yeah.
bowl every night, right? And so what happens
Right.
when you limit yourself to one scoop of Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream, you'll notice a couple of things. The first thing you'll notice is, how fast do you think I eat that scoop of ice cream?
I'm going to go slow.
Very slowly. It's the only one
Um,
I get. It's the only one I get that month. So when I eat it, I am going to savor every single bite of that ice cream that I'm going to eat.
you
Right?
betcha.
I'm not saying don't eat the ice cream. I'm saying if I'm eating
Enjoy it.
to celebrate it, enjoy the celebration. And a celebration, it doesn't happen every night. That's called a habit. That's not called a celebration.
Yeah, this is good though. This is good. Enjoying it is not standing at the counter, devouring a bag of chips while you're cooking dinner. Like, that's not working out for you.
Yep. Yep.
So,
We have a couple of habits that we have in our nutrition program. One of them is we want you to sit down when you're eating. Sit down at the table, not at your desk, not
yeah.
in the car, not standing on the kitchen counter, not watching TV, but sitting down at your dining room table when you eat, right? And if you can't do that, if you're not available to do that, then you don't eat.
And for the love, if you go out to dinner, put your phone away and look at people in their eyeballs. Please.
Well, that's another one is remove screens. So you don't eat while
Please.
looking at a phone, a computer, a TV. That's another habit that we have. And then a third habit that we have along these lines is to eat slowly. Like, I
That's
want
hard for me.
you to enjoy. Like, if you are this is the cool part. Look, if you're eating to gain weight, if you're eating to gain weight, okay, then these are different strategies. We need you to eat, okay? But if you were eating to lose weight, Okay, let's say you have this scale of food. At the bottom is the cheap stuff that isn't very tasty, and at the top is the expensive stuff that tastes better. That's a higher quality food. We need to cut 20%. We need to cut 20% of the calories. Okay. Would you rather cut the top 20% or the bottom 20%? Let's cut the bottom 20%. Let's cut out. This is why we say, we cut out the Doritos, the Cheetos, the cereal, the cheap stuff that's full of calories and loaded with sugar and loaded with excess fat that you don't need. Let's cut that out. Let's keep filet mignon. Let's keep New York strip, sea bass, pork loin. Let's let's keep that. Let's keep the quinoa cranberry. I'm trying to think of something that Rainey made and posted not too long ago. Let's keep the butternut stuff. Let's keep those foods. Let's cut out the cheap beer. Let's cut out the $6 bottle of wine. And instead, if you're going to enjoy that bottle of wine, let's make it a $30 bottle. How much more are you going to enjoy a $30? Or are you just going to just randomly watch TV, throwing back $30 bottle of wine? No. You're going to sit on the back porch with your husband looking at the sunset.
That's right.
Enjoying every sip, because you know that one sip costs you about 30 cents as opposed to 2.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, this has been good. This is a good topic. I like this. Enjoy what you got. Take your time. Eat the good stuff.
Eat the good stuff. So that, when we talk about going on, Thanksgiving dinner, or we're having a party, we're having a gym party next.
Yeah, when you come to my gym party, you better bring some
Saturday,
homemade stuff.
Right? Next Saturday.
The tent. It's the 10th.
If there's something store bought, I don't want to be offensive to anyone. I'm going to try to do it discreetly, but I'm not going to eat it. Right? I'm going to
bring homemade food to my house if you're watching this podcast.
Food.
That's right.
And I'm going to enjoy the beverages, the adult beverages that will be there. I have a couple of people in mind who I hope are going to be there, might bring an expensive bottle of whiskey. No, that's what I'm going to have. I'm not going to have, the cheap stuff. Why? Right? They don't suit my goals, and I want to enjoy life. So much of the nutrition coaching we give is, I want you to enjoy life more, and
that's right,
and live longer and be in the shape and feel more confident and better in your own skin. That's what.
Boom! Drop the mic.
Right.
That's right.
It is not to punish you or make you miserable. This is actually to make you happier. But we gotta. I understand you gotta get over the hump, and that is not easy. It is not easy getting over that hump. That's why we do coaching, accountability, and a little bit of knowledge, and that's what it takes to get over the hump.
That's true.
Cool.
Good one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clancy.
Thank you.
We will see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye. You can get every episode of Busy People Getting Fit wherever you listen to your podcast or on YouTube. You can also reach us at busypeoplegettingfit.com. Until next time, thank you for listening.